Functional irreducible complexity cannot arise by natural law. A case for intelligent design. A powerful argument for intelligent design is the existence of functional irreducible complexity, FIC, in biological systems, technological innovations, and potentially even in extraterrestrial systems. Irreducible complexity refers to systems composed of multiple interdependent parts, where the removal of any one part renders the entire system non-functional. Such systems exhibit a level of integration and interdependence that points unmistakably to intentional design. While natural laws describe the regular behaviors of physical systems, they cannot account for the origin of such intricate, interdependent systems. Here, I will explore why natural law is insufficient to explain the origin of functional irreducible complexity. Instead, I will argue that such complexity is the product of intelligent design, requiring the purposeful arrangement of parts to achieve a functional system. We will examine biological examples, human-made systems, and hypothetical extraterrestrial systems to demonstrate that functional irreducible complexity cannot arise by natural law alone. 1. What is functional irreducible complexity? Before exploring why natural law is insufficient to produce functional irreducible complexity, we must define what it is. Irreducibility. A system is considered irreducibly complex if it consists of several interdependent parts, all of which are necessary for the system to function. If any part is removed, the system ceases to function altogether. Functionality. The system must perform a specific task or function that depends on the integrated operation of all its parts. This functionality distinguishes irreducibly complex systems from random or haphazard arrangements. Interdependence. The parts of an irreducibly complex system are not merely assembled by chance. Instead, they are interdependent, meaning that each part contributes to the overall function and cannot operate in isolation. Functional irreducible complexity is often observed in biological systems, where multiple components work together to achieve functions like movement, replication, or metabolic processes. Such systems cannot be explained by gradual, step-by-step changes, as every part must be present from the beginning for the system to function. This makes natural law and evolutionary theory inadequate explanations for the origin of such complexity. 2. Natural laws describe regularity, not innovation. Natural laws govern the regular and predictable behaviors of physical systems. For example, the law of gravity describes how objects with mass are attracted to one another. The laws of thermodynamics explain how energy is transferred and how systems tend toward entropy. Newton's laws of motion describe how forces act on objects to produce motion. While natural laws describe how systems behave, they do not generate new, functional systems. Natural laws govern what happens once a system is already in place, but they do not create systems that require the purposeful arrangement of parts to achieve a specific function. For example, the law of gravity explains why a rock falls, but it does not explain how rock can be fashioned into a tool or how the interdependent parts of a watch can be arranged to tell time. Similarly, natural laws describe how chemical reactions occur, but they do not explain the origin of complex molecular machines in living organisms, such as the bacterial flagellum or the process of protein synthesis. These systems are irreducibly complex, meaning that all parts must be present and functioning together for the system to work. The arrangement and interdependence of these parts point to intelligent causation, not unguided natural processes. 3. Why functional irreducible complexity cannot arise by natural law. A. Natural laws tend toward simplicity and disorder. One of the fundamental principles of the second law of thermodynamics is that natural systems tend to move toward increased entropy or disorder over time. Left to themselves, systems degrade rather than become more complex and organized. This principle directly contradicts the idea that functional irreducible complexity could arise from natural laws alone. Natural processes, governed by the second law, led to the breakdown of order, not the construction of intricate systems with multiple interdependent parts. Irreducibly complex systems, by contrast, represent a high level of order and integration. The interdependent parts must work together to achieve a specific function, and this coordination requires precise, intentional arrangement. Natural law alone cannot account for such ordered complexity, especially given the natural tendency toward disorder. B. Natural laws operate by necessity, not innovation. Natural laws describe necessity, what happens under certain conditions. For example, when water reaches 100 degrees Celsius at sea level, it must boil. However, necessity alone cannot explain the origin of systems that require interdependent parts to function. Functional irreducible complexity involves the simultaneous operation of multiple parts, all of which are required for the system to work. Natural laws cannot innovate or create new, interdependent functions. For example, chemical laws describe how atoms bond together to form molecules, but they do not explain how specific sequences of nucleotides in DNA are arranged to create genetic instructions. The information-rich sequences in DNA, which are necessary for life, cannot arise from the regular behaviors of chemical reactions. The bacterial flagellum, a well-known example of irreducible complexity, consists of multiple protein structures that must be precisely arranged to allow the bacterium to move. The law of chemistry can describe how proteins are formed, but it cannot explain how the complex, integrated structure of the flagellum came into existence. C. Random mutations cannot build irreducibly complex systems. Proponents of naturalistic evolution often argue that random mutations, combined with natural selection, can build complex biological systems. However, random mutations operate through trial and error, and they are highly unlikely to generate functional irreducible complexity. Random changes typically degrade existing systems, leading to non-functional or harmful mutations. For a system to be irreducibly complex, every part must be in place and fully functional from the beginning. Take the example of a mousetrap. It consists of a base, spring, hammer, and catch. All these parts must be present and correctly arranged for the mousetrap to work. If you randomly removed or altered any one part, the mousetrap would cease to function. Similarly, in biological systems, random mutations cannot gradually build irreducibly complex systems because any intermediate stage would be non-functional. The only reasonable explanation for the origin of such systems is intelligent design. 4. Examples of functional irreducible complexity in nature. A. The bacterial flagellum. The bacterial flagellum is often cited as a prime example of functional irreducible complexity. This rotary motor, found in certain bacteria, enables the organism to move through liquid environments. The flagellum is composed of multiple interdependent parts, including a rotor, stator, hook, and filament. Each part is essential for the flagellum's function, and if any one part is removed, the entire system fails. Complexity. The flagellum consists of dozens of proteins that must be arranged in a precise manner to enable rotation and movement. Interdependence. Every component of the flagellum is necessary for its function. The removal of any part, such as the rotor or stator, renders the system useless. Functionality. The flagellum's purpose is to propel the bacterium through its environment, allowing it to seek nutrients and avoid harmful conditions. The complexity and interdependence of the flagellum cannot be explained by natural law or random mutations. Instead, its design points to the involvement of an intelligent cause. B. Protein synthesis. Protein synthesis is another example of functional irreducible complexity in biological systems. This process involves a complex network of molecules working together to build proteins from amino acids. The ribosome acts as the molecular machine that assembles proteins, while messenger RNA, mRNA, carries the genetic instructions from DNA. Transfer RNA, tRNA, brings the amino acids to the ribosome, where they are joined together in the correct sequence. Complexity. Protein synthesis involves multiple molecules, each of which plays a critical role in the assembly process. The process cannot function without the interaction of all these molecules. Interdependence. Each part of the protein synthesis system, mRNA, tRNA, ribosomes, and enzymes, must work together for the process to succeed. Removing any one part renders the system non-functional. Functionality. The purpose of protein synthesis is to create the proteins necessary for life. Without proteins, cells could not function or survive. The highly integrated nature of protein synthesis is another clear example of irreducible complexity. The precise coordination required for protein assembly could not have arisen from natural law or chance. Instead, it points to the work of an intelligent designer. 5. Human-made systems and irreducible complexity. Human-made systems also exhibit functional irreducible complexity, further demonstrating that such complexity is always the result of intelligent design. A. The airplane. An airplane is an example of an irreducibly complex human-made system. It consists of wings, engines, landing gear, control surfaces, and a cockpit. Each part of the airplane is necessary for it to achieve its function, flight. Complexity. An airplane contains thousands of interdependent parts, all of which must be arranged correctly for the airplane to function. Interdependence. The airplane cannot fly if any critical component, such as the engines or wings, is missing or malfunctioning. Functionality. The purpose of the airplane is to transport passengers and cargo through the air. This function depends on the precise coordination of its parts. The idea that an airplane could assemble itself through natural laws is absurd. Its irreducible complexity is the result of careful design by intelligent engineers. In the same way, irreducibly complex biological systems are best explained by intelligent design, not by natural laws or chance processes. 6. Hypothetical irreducible complexity in extraterrestrial systems. If we were to encounter extraterrestrial technology that exhibited functional irreducible complexity, it would serve as undeniable evidence of intelligent design by a non-human mind. Imagine discovering a spacecraft with an advanced propulsion system, energy generators, and communication devices, all of which are interdependent and necessary for the system to function. Complexity. The spacecraft would contain intricate machinery and technology far beyond what random processes could produce. Interdependence. Each component, such as the propulsion system, energy storage, and navigation devices, would need to work together for the spacecraft to operate. Functionality. The spacecraft's purpose would be to travel through space, gather data, or communicate with its creators. In such a case, we would rightly infer that the spacecraft was designed by an intelligent civilization, as natural law could not account for the origin of such an irreducibly complex system. Conclusion. Functional irreducible complexity requires intelligent design. Functional irreducible complexity cannot arise by natural law. While natural laws describe the regular behaviors of physical systems, they do not create new, interdependent systems that exhibit functional complexity. Irreducibly complex systems, whether biological, technological, or hypothetical extraterrestrial, require the coordinated arrangement of parts to achieve a specific function. Such systems cannot be built gradually through random mutations or governed by natural processes alone. Instead, intelligent design is the only sufficient explanation for the origin of these systems. The existence of irreducibly complex systems points to the work of a creator who designed the universe with purpose and intention. Functional irreducible complexity, whether in the biological world or in human-made systems, reflects the presence of intelligence, revealing the hand of an intelligent mind behind the intricate and purposeful design of life and technology. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.